Redistricting in Virginia is going to pass by 3 to 4%. I called 3, but we'll see what actually happens as the provisional votes get counted over the next couple of days. That's pretty close, especially since in November, Abigail Spanberger won by 15 points. So what happened? First of all, the Republicans probably could have won this if they hadn't whiffed it so bad. They did not spend enough money. Republicans spent about $34 million. Some of that came from Mike Johnson. Some of that came from Peter Thiel. But the Democrats spent 64, and 40 of that came from Hakeem Jeffries. House Majority Forward is Hakeem Jeffries' PAC. So congressional Democratic leadership was pretty intent on passing this, and the Republican congressional leadership didn't fight back hard enough. Instead, they sent this guy, Scott Pressler. This is a Republican operative. He credits himself with flipping Pennsylvania for Trump in 2024. In reality, Pennsylvania was probably going to flip anyway, and he just was there. He's weird. I think that you can just tell looking at him. And the crowd, you'll notice, is entirely old white people. This is who Republicans were depending on in Virginia to turn out a winning vote. And a couple of Republicans who just lost in November. Losers and freak shows. Yeah. What money the Republican Party did spend, from Peter Thiel mostly, was spent on these weird racist mailers and the weird racist commercials. Commercials that tried to claim that Spanberger and Barack Obama were against redistricting. A lot of that was targeted at black voters. It completely backfired. Instead of confusing black voters or persuading them to vote no, it just made them angry. White Democrats in Northern Virginia, which is the most populated part of the state, ran about 5 points behind Kamala Harris in this election. But black Democrats in Northern Virginia, who were already D+50, went even farther leftward. They outran Kamala Harris. So did Asian voters in Virginia. They are 30 points ahead of how they voted for Kamala Harris in this election. At the end of the day, there aren't enough Republicans if a vote is just party lines. There are not enough Republicans to pass something. Republicans in Virginia were already pissed off about November, and they were very pissed off about this redistricting because it reduces their congressional representation to 1 seat. So their turnout was high. In some counties, it was even higher than in the Trump election of 2024. It's just not enough people. It takes 60 of the red counties in the state to make up Fairfax, one Democratic county in the state. Heavy Republican turnout was not enough to overcome Northern Virginia's rage about DOGE and the base's rage and the rest of the population centers about the national environment. A lot of Democrats stayed home, and so did independents. And Republicans didn't need them to stay home. Republicans needed to persuade them to vote no, and they failed. A lot of independents and soft Democrats did not want to vote for gerrymandering, which is, I guess, understandable. We've been talking about how bad gerrymandering is for a long time. Republicans needed to convince new voters, and they failed.